Haruden, captain of the New Giant Warrior Pirates, is actually a D-Clan member. How do I know this? Well, the first point that I want to bring up is a comment left to me by Will of Dreams, in which he suggested that perhaps Haruden is the son of Jaguar D. Saul's sister, of which I did a video discussing this topic previously. However, more information has come out, so we're bringing up the topic again. This has become more of a possibility thanks to the information presented in Chapter 1153. Because we know these things about Jaguar D. Saul. He is from the South Blue, and he is a giant not from Elbaf that does have a very low opinion of Albathian giants for their savagery. So, in Chapter 1153, we're introduced to Ida, the first wife of Harold in a way. So, she is come across by Harold when she is performing in a circus in the town of the Kingdom of Bunt. Thinking that she is being held captive, Harold goes forth and destroys the town upon her behalf, supposedly freeing her. However, when she tells him the situation of how the Kingdom of Bunt actually saved her and brought her in when she was at her lowest, she proclaims that Elbathian giants give giants a bad name because they're all savages. It sounds familiar now, doesn't it? Then we find out way later in the chapter that she too, much like Jaguar D. Saul, was born in the South Blue on an island called Samuwani. So, with that being said, that's a very interesting parallel. Another interesting thing that I just want to bring up to why Haruden could be a D-Clan member is because it's quite interesting how the brothers are intentionally separated by different mothers, and something this complex hasn't happened in One Piece. This is the first time in which we're getting such weird biological family ties, and Haruden and Loki technically being half-brothers. On the flip, which is interesting, this is in stark contrast to what Big Mom has going on. She is the one mother, and she has a bunch of different male partners, which is quite interesting how Lola and Loki were once courted together, and both of their family situations are in stark opposite to one another. Just pointing that out because that's interesting, but moving on. But in addition, this would also make sense as to why Haruden and the boys were fishing out books from the remains of Alhara. They were doing it upon Jaguar D. Saul's behalf, because of course you're going to do favors for your uncle, the brother of your mother. And we know from chapter 1153 that Haruden is very close to his mother. So it would make sense that he would do something like this upon his uncle's behalf. And I predict that sometime in this flashback of Loki's, the whole bit about Haruden being a D-Clan member is going to come up. So perhaps his true name is Jaguar D. Haruden, because it's more likely that he would take the family name of his mother and uncle as opposed to Harold's family name, of which there doesn't seem to be one. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede Wexy.